Hello, this lesson is going to go over radial printmaking. You've already learned a little bit about mandalas, and this will explore radial balance and how radial balance is used in mandalas, and we'll kind of explain our first printmaking lesson for relief printing, and we will go over how to create the stamp for that, and then we will be printing those on the next in-person lesson. What is balance? Balance is the principle of design that deals with the arrangement of one or more elements in a work so that it appears even or uneven, so symmetrical or asymmetrical. Symmetrical balance is a line that will balance the two sides, or a radial symmetry will balance all the way around a design. Asymmetrical balance is still balanced, but not mirrored. Symmetrical balance, bilateral or linear symmetry. When the same elements are arranged equally on either side of a central axis, the work is said to have bilateral or linear symmetry. For example, if a line of symmetry, was drawn vertically in the middle of this B, the left half would look like a reflection of the right half, kind of like a mirror. Symmetrical balance, radial symmetry. When elements are arranged equally around a central point, the work is said to have radial symmetry. This is the central point of the snowflake. Things with radial symmetry can have many lines of symmetry. You can see how the snowflake can be divided up like a pizza. Asymmetrical balance. When elements are arranged differently so that their weight is visually equal, the work is said to have asymmetrical balance. Asymmetry means no symmetry. While each side is not exactly the same and has no real line of symmetry, it does still seem pretty visually balanced. You can see that each side is not a mirror of each other, so there's no line of symmetry, but the whole piece together seems like it is balanced. It doesn't look like it's going to topple over. What is a mandala? Mandalas are a type of artwork that goes all the way back to 4th century Buddhism and Hinduism. You've already watched a couple of videos about a mandala. Mandalas were created as part of a spiritual process and often represented themes such as universe, unity, wholeness, and meditation. What type of balance does this mandala have? That's right, mandalas have radial symmetry. This means that there is more than one line of symmetry, that all the elements in the artwork are arranged around a central point. Here's the central point of this mandala. And here are the lines of symmetry. Mandalas can be created with a variety of materials. They can be drawn, painted, collaged, and printed, like we're going to be doing. Tibetan monks are very well known for their sound mandalas, and you have watched a couple of videos on those. Mandalas are now created for a variety of reasons, including the latest trend, which are mandala coloring books. These are meant to be meditative and relaxing. Our first project is going to be radial mandala printmaking. The project will be doing a radial mandala project of your very own stamp. The stamp will be rotated around 4 different central points, and then rotated again around another central point to create 16 times of the same stamp to create 4 mini mandalas and 1 large mandala. First, we're going to work on creating our stamp. You can see by looking at one of the prints how the stamp design was created. The lines are started at one edge and should end at the same edge on the adjacent side. So you're going to be starting, when you draw it, this line will go from here to here. This one will go from here to here, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. You can see that this is this line, and this final line goes from 5 to 5. And when you create yours, you're going to want to be drawing from starting at one point here. So this point 1, you won't be drawing anything, but from point 2 to point 5, you're going to be starting there and finishing down on the other side. And you can see how that stamp is rotated and then printed. Here is an example drawing of what you're going to be creating, and you can see that it's just going to be blank for you, and you're going to go from 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4, and 5 to 5. And there would be an example. When you rotate it around the central point, which would be 1, 1, you create a symmetrical or radial design. After you finish, we will be creating the stamp. On the next part, you're going to be creating 6 different sketches or 6 different designs. Make sure that these are simple. Simplicity works the best. And then when we're done, we're going to be creating our stamp on a piece of styrofoam. For our in-person lesson, we will be creating the stamp by I will be handing out these little pieces of styrofoam for you to draw your design, and then you'll be using our little tools to push in, just like we did in our last lesson, and then we will be actually putting a paper clip on it to create our stamp. And then you're gonna make sure to mark your central point so that when you create it, it will be you'll be going around that 1, 1 point. I will be getting the paper prepped for you. And then we will be going by getting the ink ready like we have done with our brayer, stamp, and doing our printing. And we will go over all of this in the in-person. See, some of the problems that we might run into is too little ink or too much ink. And then we can color them in if you want at the end.